Hey everyone, Simon here. I want to ask you a question. Doesn't it feel amazing to be able to have insights into reality that 99.9% of the population doesn't have? I'm talking about insights into anything from predicting an election, seeing how well or poorly matched a couple might be, to predicting the outcome of an event like a sports match, or simply being able to look at a person's chart, this little piece of paper, and be able to tell them about their career, their personality, their strengths, weaknesses, how they were raised, whether there was abuse in their life, whether they had a happy childhood, and so forth, all from this one little piece of paper. I am amazed every day that we have access to this royal science, which today is called astrology, but in ancient times uh, had different names, particularly in the Vedic tradition. But Jyotisha Shastra is the understanding of the lights and bringing light into the world. And a Jyotishi is also known as a Nakshatra Suchaka, a messenger of the stars, and there are many other names. So today in this tutorial for Dilanu, I'm going to give you an insight that will blow your mind and hopefully blow the mind of your clients, because it will give you a quick 5-second way to see if a couple is meant, as it were. This is a loaded word, meant to, right? But I'm still going to use it with some caveats, is meant to be together, or even though they may be compatible and have good friendship and whatever compatibility they have, they're not meant to be together. And this is the what am I to you measurement. And we have it right here in Dilanu. So let's get started. All right. So I'm going to use two charts today that you're probably familiar with. The reason I use the same chart is to show that I'm not picking charts at random to fit our hypothesis. I'm using the same chart, more or less, and taking it through each of the protocols so you can see how every protocol applies. We've tested most of these on, by now, thousands of charts. And while there are still times when there are head scratchers, you go, I wonder, how does this play out? Most of the time, we're able to gain at least a valuable insight into the relationship. So in a previous section, in a previous video, I talked to you about karmic glue. Karmic glue is that ancestral force, unconscious, coming through you. It's not this conscious thing of like, oh, I'm really attracted to this person. It's like, I have no idea why, but I need to connect, or fate brings you together. And it's almost like your ancestors or your DNA wants to connect with their DNA. And usually a child is born out of that. And once that is fulfilled, good luck, right? Hopefully you have enough compatibility, because once your karmic glue starts to wear off, hopefully you have enough compatibility in the relationship to continue to get along. If you don't, often this is when relationships break up. So you might ask, well, how long does karmic glue last? Well, typically, if you only have karmic glue in the relationship, the first cracks will come at about 7 years. Okay. They might come sooner. It depends on how bad the rest of the compatibility is. But karmic glue is this sort of unconscious force. What we're going to look at, and I talked about it in the other video, what we're going to look at today is a different metric that measures, is this truly relationship material? Are you supposed to be together? Even though, you may be supposed to be together for a time according to karmic glue and have a child and fulfill your ancestral primal desires. But are you what I would call long-term relationship material? And that we measure using what am I to you? And here's the measurement we look at. So here's Joanne Woodward and Paul Newman. What we want to see, let's move me here. is in the totals, you'll see which houses of the horoscopes are most activated. Okay. For a partnership of any kind, business or otherwise, you want to see houses 1 and houses 7 activated. Okay. Doesn't matter which one, because as you know from the chart, house 1 and house 7 are opposite. So they aspect each other. You also want to see the second house, house 2, which is the house of living together, family life, shared resources, right? Second house is food, wealth, and family, the things that nurture you. So most people, oh, second house is money. What does that have to do with? It has a lot to do with relationships. And in fact, sometimes people just marry for the security, and that's fine. I've seen a number of healthy, happy relationships that are based primarily on the second house of security, shared finances, and so forth. So, house 1, house 2, also house 5, which is the house of children, play, fun, dating, creativity, lovemaking, and so forth, and house 7. You want these houses to be activated. Specifically, you want them to be more activated than the negative houses, the houses that bring fighting, in this case, the 6th house. Okay, you see there's some activation here. Scandal and irreconcilable differences, 8th house. And secrets and lies and behind the backstabbing, that kind of thing, 12th house. If a relationship has more of the 1st, 2nd, 5th, and 7th house than houses 6, 8, or 12, that is a very basic metric. And it should, because we're counting 4 houses against 3, right? So the 4 should have more points than the 3. And then you can continue and say, okay, this is a relationship that will have more bonding and relational energy than separative 6th house, fighting kind of energy, right? Which is why in the summary page, now you know what this metric means. When you go to the summary page and it says, is this relationship material? It is counting what am I to you? And it's saying, hey, is this relationship going to have more bonding than fighting? Because let's face it, after a while, if you have more fighting and scandal and lies and backstabbing, is that relationship worth it? And in the long term, those relationships tend to fail. Even if they get married, I've seen relationships where this is no become a marriage. And after 5 years or 10 years, sometimes even 15 years, they break up. And they break up in a way that's not good. Okay. So this metric, the relationship material, doesn't mean people won't get married. People get married for all kinds of different reasons. They have personal trauma. They were told as a child, you're not good enough. And so, of course, they're going to marry someone that reinforces that, right? They're going to marry someone that's not good for them. And so what we measure in Dilanu is this kind of empirical, in an empirical way, here is what's best for you. Coming in the future will be the full personal handicap protocol, which right now it's not full, so we can't really look at it. That will help us assess which person has the most baggage and that they would be more likely to martyr themselves to a relationship. They would be more likely to create problems in a relationship because of their own baggage, even if the compatibility is good. But back to this. So we see now in this relationship, we've covered Joanne, I've covered them in a number of videos, that they have great overall compatibility. They have their karmic glue is off the roof. Their ancient methods are amazing. They've got so many deal makers. Their sizzle is amazing. And now, yes, they are relationship material, because what am I to you also shows they're meant to be together. Guys, this is what relationships can be. Now, most of us, myself included, don't have 5 stars in every category, and you don't have to. But, and it's like most of us aren't Olympic athletes, right? It doesn't mean we're less worthy, right? It's just that Olympic athletes are physical specimens. They're elite. And there are some relationships which are elite. You see them, they're 5-star relationships. But it doesn't mean that to exist on this planet and to be happy and to have a good life, you have to have all 5 stars. That's not what I'm saying. In fact, most relationships will not have 5 stars across the board. I guarantee you. And they can still be good quality relationships. And one of the ways that you'll know is when the good houses, 1, 2, 5, 7 are activated. Now, what about the other houses? What about the 11th house? 11th house is fine. It's great for social. It's great for, social fulfillment, desire fulfillment, and so forth. The 10th house, good for work and so forth. But strictly keeping it to relationships, you want the relationship houses activated. So let's now go to another couple that we've also looked at, which is Halle Berry and Olivier Martinez. Now, from the standpoint of compatibility, they have great compatibility. They have strong karmic glue. Even their ancient methods line up quite nicely. The ancient methods being the long-term potential ancient astrology's view of the marriage. So if they were married 500 years ago, right, things would have been great. Problem is, in modern society, people have more reason to break up, more freedom to break up. And if there's even something wrong, right, you can have a beautiful car, a Ferrari going down the road is nice, but someone throws a piece of glass or something, or a nail wanders on the road, boom, you blow a tire and you spin out. Even the smallest thing can make a relationship go bad, especially today. And so what do we see here? They are not relationship material according to What Am I to You? So let's take a look at this. Even though they have good compatibility, this couple married, they had good compatibility. They had strong karmic glue. They were pulled together. They have good ancient methods. Even now, the deal maker is my first point that I'm going to go, we want a lot more deal makers and deal breakers, and it's about even. So this is going to make me go, there's something in this relationship that's not quite kosher. The sizzle is okay. That doesn't matter for long term so much, but here we go. Why is this not relationship material? And if we go to What Am I to You, we take a look. Do they have house 1 activation? No. Do they have house 7 activation? No. Do they have house 2? A little bit. Do they have house 5? Even less. So what is this relationship about? If they don't have the relationship houses activated, this will become an anchor. It will become an albatross around the neck of the relationship. The rhyme of the ancient mariner. I'm trying to think of the verse. Anyway, I had a bunch of this memorized back in college. Great poem, right? The rhyme of the ancient mariner. Rime of the ancient mariner. I'll try to remember it at later. So the albatross around the neck is the thing that drags it down. So what houses do they have? Look at this, guys. 12th house, 5 points. Here's a little secret. If you've gotten this far into this video, I'm going to share a secret with you. When you look at What Am I to You, look at which house gets the most points. This will key the relationship. Okay. And in this case, it's the 12th house. 12th house means just a few things. It means secrets, right? Deception, not sharing your truth with the person. It means bed pleasures. but bed pleasures in the kind of wasteful way where you both become exhausted from it. It doesn't add energy to you, it depletes energy. So for a while, 12th house relationships are fun because you also travel, you also go places. But 12th house is not good for long-term relationships. It's good for spiritual relationships. It's good if you're, going to be doing a lot of travel or charity work and so forth, but not for a normal marriage. We have 11th house, which is good. No problem there. We have 10th house. They help each other's career. Fine. We have 9th house. Again, travel. So travel will be a big theme of this relationship. Possibly education and learning as well. We have some 8th house, but the concern is there's no 7th house, guys. No 7th or 1st or 2nd or 5th. And that's why this relationship, in my opinion, ultimately failed. Now, that's not the only reason. There are other issues here. But what am I to you shows that this is not quite long-term relationship material, in spite of the powerful compatibility between them. These two were very attracted to each other. Yet fate kind of denied. So, all right, I hope this helped. I'm wearing my Divine Love Match t-shirt, which is our website, which is coming soon. Soon means within the next year or so. So whenever you're watching this, check out divinelovematch.com. It's not up yet. We're looking at about 6 months from now. It is August 2nd, 2023. So whenever you see this tutorial, within 6 months, Divine Love Match, hopefully, fingers crossed, should be up and providing services to the world, helping people find love based on real metrics, real quantifiable results, which is why I opened today with this kind of awe and respect at what this powerful science allows us to do, which is to quantify so many of the most important things in life, like what's my best career, who's my best partner, who's going to win the World Series, right? Those are in the top 3 most important things, and so forth. So we have a unique position where we're sitting behind God as God is operating this universe, and we get to take a little peek. And he's like, stay in the back. We're like, no, but I want to see, right? And we get a little glimpse of what is, what was, and what could be. All right. Thank you, everyone. We'll see you in the next tutorial. I hope you enjoyed this, and keep looking up. And if you want to access this powerful software we have here, there's a 10% coupon available. You can get it monthly, or you can get it and own it for life, and change the world. Truly help people find love. All right, I had to pull up the Ancient Mariner here, right? So some of the best lines are there, including the famous line, water, water everywhere, and all the boards that shrink, the boards of the ship, right? Water, water everywhere, nor any drop to drink. But the opening lines are some of my favorite. It is an ancient mariner, and he stoppeth one of 3. By thy long grey beard and glittering eye, now wherefore stopp'st thou me? The bridegroom's doors are opened wide, and I am next of kin. The guests are met, the feast is set. Mayst hear the merry din. He holds him with his skinny hand. There was a ship, quoth he. Hold off, unhand me, grey-beard loon. Eftsoons his hand dropped he. He holds him with his glittering eye. The wedding guest stood still, and listens like a 3 years child. The mariner hath his will. He hypnotized him. He's looking at him with this intensity. Anyway, go read The Ancient Mariner, and we'll see you in the next video. Namaste, everyone.